And then you were like, I had to do this for years with my ex-husband, and this was the expectations and the Mormon and the wife. And I'm like, well, that's great. I also have the same triggers. So basically we have two ex-Mormon triggered by domestic roles people that come together, and we have to figure out who does the domestic things. And their answer is no one, not one person does. We both do and no one does. It is a Sunday and it is Easter, but we've decided that this is a great way to celebrate Easter because
we don't celebrate Easter.
Because we don't celebrate Easter. You opted for podcast, which was very surprising because you seem like you don't want to be here most of the time, but I think secretly, I don't know, maybe this is like therapy or something. Or maybe just you were feeling...
I don't want to go to therapy either.
That's true. No, well, this is the only form of therapy that maybe you can handle. We just started this podcast in the last month, and we're being very cautious with it because we're still trying to figure out the identity of this podcast. Now, in the beginning, it was like, oh, let's interview female business owners. And then it was like, you know what, all business owners. And you know what, we're not going to talk about business. We're going to talk about personal stuff because we don't want to just talk about business and that gets boring. And then Scotti was like, you know what, I think we should actually make this more about us because that's more interesting because we have a very odd and interesting dynamic and an interesting story, being both lesbian later in life, being raised Mormon, and also just very different neurodivergence and such. We are trying to figure out what direction we take. And I think we're taking the direction of like a combination of the two. And that will be kind of the foundation, us two here. And then we'll bring on guests, throughout the podcast. Is that kind of where we're at?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Again? You just check out on like a constant basis? Okay. Is this like a normal thing? Like, do you just like not listen to me a lot of the time when I talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like not important.
You think this isn't important?
No.
Okay. Well, I think it's very important. Who are we? What is our identity? And where are we going? It's very important to answer these questions. So what I was saying before you checked out was I think what we're doing is we're going to make us two maybe half of it, like us just talking. And then the other half or portion will be us bringing on guests. I actually would love input because this is so brand new. I would love to know what's more interesting to you. Like, or if there's a certain topic that you'd like us to kind of dive in on. So, we're down to like kind of talk about different things, but also if you're like, yeah, no, it was really, really interesting when you brought on Melissa Meneses or Jill Rutherford onto the podcast and we got to know some different people. I would love that input. I think because my gut is telling me kind of a half and half. But if everyone's like, yeah, no, we just want to hear more of you guys and your married banter and what it's like to be gay in a married relationship and business partners, like, yeah, let us know. So, okay. So with that, my first thing that I want to talk about, one of the two things I want to talk about our recent little trip together about what the dynamic is with us when we travel and what your sentiments are. And I think the general conclusion was just that you might need to just be high all the time to tolerate the unexpected nature of traveling. Even domestically.
Yeah.
It might just make things a little bit easier. I made the 6 a.m. flight, which was horrible, miserable.
Not needed,
unnecessary. And then we had, an amazing weekend of shooting, and it definitely brings to light the fact that you don't travel well.
Yeah. And you always book the travel.
I asked for your input.
Yeah, I didn't care when you asked.
Okay, well, that's on you. That's on you, baby.
But yeah, you're the one that always books and is definitely like, I'm more of the planner, but when traveling, you're definitely more the planner.
It's kind of like the tech stuff, right? It's kind of like all the tech frustration that I was very transparent about, which this is the first episode, I think, that I'm like, I think I got it. But like, it's actually more your brain type. Like, So planning for travel you'd be like the best planner. It would be like, we have this all taken care of, but it would become your full-time job.
I would hate it.
Yeah. It would be very absorbing to you. Whereas me, as I'm like, I'm doing 20 billion things and planning for this little weekend work trip is just one of the billion things. So, things might not be perfect.
Mhm.
And that's okay. It gets done. We have a saying in our household, in our business. Do you know what the saying is?
Yes.
You do. You know what I'm going to say?
Yes, I do know what you're gonna
Yeah.
say.
If you want things done, Amber does it. If you want things done right, Scotti does it. But I get things done, and I learn through doing, which actually, ironically, leads to a lot of my success because I'm able to just kind of, start a podcast not knowing what the heck I'm doing, and learn through the mistakes. It's just representative of who I am.
Mm.
But anyway, okay, done with that conversation. I guess we'll go to the second topic. Do you know what I want to talk about? No. Roles, dynamics.
Oh.
Who does what in the relationship? Being in a same-sex lesbian relationship,
I guess there are no
it's
roles.
the Wild West. There are no
really
rules.
it was really difficult the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Or the first year. It was really difficult. Was it first 2 years?
But it was difficult?
Yeah.
I feel like it's always been difficult. You're talking about establishing roles, like housework stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, housework stuff. That the first, I don't know, maybe 3 years, it was hard. Like that was the first thing we went to therapy for. It was like, who does the freaking dishes? And just do the laundry once in a while. And and then you were like, I had to do this for years with my ex-husband, and this was the expectations and the Mormon and the wife. And I'm like, well, that's great. I also have the same triggers. So basically we have two ex-Mormon triggered by domestic roles people that come together,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to figure out who does the domestic things. And their answer is no one, not one person does. We both do and no one does. So either we have a disaster of a house or which is
We don't.
We don't.
We don't have a disaster of house.
Not a disaster, no. No, but it was extremely challenging. So challenging. Like to a point that we spent way too much money on having someone else help us with dishes and laundry and cleaning and cooking because we both were so like we could not figure it out together.
Yeah.
Like I remember being in that therapy thing and he was like, you just have to come up with the roles, and and then you were just like, this, we're just hiring someone to do it for us.
Oh, we took on another job essentially.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we actually used to coach photographers in business, and we got an influx of money and influx of responsibilities, and therefore our time for personal such things and housework plummeted, and so that helped us justify having essentially a housekeeper for ourselves for like 4 days, 5 days a week. Four, and it was glorious.
It was glorious.
It spoiled us forever.
It was great.
Yes. It was like having a mom. It was so lovely.
It was. And it was mom that we paid.
Yeah, it was so amazing.
It was
yeah,
amazing.
And she only spoke Spanish, and I speak Spanish, and so anyway, it was great until that wasn't able to be a thing anymore, and we no longer do the coaching, but we're able to have more energy for other things and time. So yeah, just establishing roles. The reality is that like you throw away the script completely. Like even if you think you're not following a gender norm script in a hetero relationship, I think that it's so ingrained, at least being raised religious for us.
Well,
I can't speak for others.
I mean, I think that and I hear about this all the time is that, women, we do carry the mental load of everything. And when you're in a homosexual relationship, like both carry the mental load. So it doesn't fall entirely on you and it doesn't fall entirely on me, which is nice because there's things that I'm like, I don't think we ever say it out loud. I think it's more of like a subconscious thing for us of like, okay, you're really good at this, and I'm going to let you have the mental load of that. And then I think there's things where you probably say to yourself of like, you're really good at this and you're going to take over that.
I mean, like yesterday with the bikes, for example, like, I mean, that's kind of true. I mean, there's other household things that are more important than, than bikes, but you're the bike.
I don't know what you're
You said something about you said something about cleaning the bikes, and I was like, you're like, it helps the longevity of the bikes. I'm like, cool, clean my bike. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's going to be something you think about. You can clean all the bikes at the same time.
It is something I think about.
Yes, I know. But not to compare you to a dude, because that totally sounds like more of a dude thing. Like, oh, kind of like with my ex-husband, and I'd be like, the house is a total mess. And I'm like, this and that and laundry. And he's like, but the garage.
Oh, I'm not like that.
No, you're not like that.
But that is a man thing.
It is definitely a man thing. But anyway, so we figured out there's certain moments too. Because I think as a woman, like our hormonal cycles and such, like you'll have a moment where you're just like craze cleaning. You're like, everything's a mess and there's random piles and Aria put this away and Amber do this. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know we're purge cleaning today, but or vice versa.
Yeah, you do it too.
Yeah, I'm like, why are your shoes everywhere? And why this and why that? So I think that as women, we probably just, it's like the cortisol spikes, like by triggers of mess, right? It's like a thing where it's like,
sure.
Yeah, like messes and stuff.
Yeah.
Trigger us stress wise.
Yeah.
And so there's certain times like you're like, oh my gosh, the counters, or like I don't know. So we just trade off of who's crazy about something or who's complaining about like the room is a mess. And I'm like, in this moment, I'm like, I'm the only one that ever sees this one. And but you also do that to me. So I think we just like take turns of who's like the crazy clean one or who doesn't give a shit in the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is.
I think it is. And
then recognizing that we both have the moments like, okay, Scotty's in this mode.
Yeah.
And I don't need to stress out and freak out on her behalf.
Right. Exactly.
Because I have my moments where she annoys me that she's not doing what I would rather her do.
Yeah.
So, and then we finally figured out cooking, meaning you do it. So we did meal kits. So after we had, her name was Maria. Amazing. Love Maria. After she, took care of us with cooking and cleaning, when we were doing coaching and really busy and just working all the time. So then we were like, well, we have to have some sort of meal situation. So that like, because we had to go to the store and make lists. Like all of a sudden there were too many tasks involved with cooking that like we were just like, we don't have time for this. Yeah. So we did like Blue Apron meal kits, and we did that for a few years, like
it was
a couple years.
It's like probably a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And it worked out very well. It was a really great transition.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it was training wheels. I feel like we had to get to a point where it was like, okay, we can do this, like, and you were doing the cooking and you would just follow the recipes. And I'm like, okay, so Scotti just needs to know what to cook. Like she just needs a list in front of her and the ingredients available. And I'm like, okay, if we have that, then Scotti makes the dinner. So if I want more diversity in cooking and, or just whatever, different ingredients or more vegetables and less meat or, customization, then I need to come up with a list.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, okay, that's all I have to do is just come up with a list. And then we can go grocery shopping together on weekends.
Yes.
So it's pretty much what we do now. And
we're not perfect at it.
We're definitely not.
Because that one's still hard.
It is, but I know it is my role to find the recipes and print them, which maybe it's a waste of paper, I know, but it helps get it done. And you have it there. You open the drawer, the recipe's there. Like it took us years to figure this out.
This is year 6.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Scotti just needs the recipes in front of her. It's the thinking you don't like to do.
Yeah.
So you're the doer, I'm the thinker. I don't know. Actually, that's too complicated, actually. It's more of just like...
There's too many nuances on that.
I can think about 100 billion things. You can think about one thing at a time.
Yes.
So that's really what the answer is. So the answer is that it comes through experience, but there is something beautiful and extremely challenging. Because the reality is, as much as I'm like, I hate gender norms and this and that, what?
We don't have gender norms.
Well, right, we don't. But what I'm going back to is like how hard it is to rewrite the script.
Oh.
It's hard to figure out authentically who strives at what. Because there's not a gender script.
Yes, but that's also unfair.
It is unfair. No, I know. I'm just being very, very honest right now of like, it sucks.
I know. Yeah, because we grew up with a script.
Yeah. And someone wins in that script, right?
It's not women.
Well, unless the woman thrives and loves everything to do with creating a home.
Sure, that's called my mother, but...
Well, it's a lot of women.
I
And
don't
that's
think it
okay.
is.
I think it's a lot of
I
women.
think that's very rare.
I don't know.
I think it is.
I think, okay, anyway, I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of women out there that just like love and thrive in that role. And we both were stay-at-home moms at different points. And I think we both were like depression, anxiety, craze. Like it was not good for either of us. I don't know. Maybe we just need more things to think about and do than just the same thing every day. Like the monotony of that is soul crushing for me.
I think you had a harder time with it than I
Oh yeah,
did.
you do better with monotony. You
Yeah.
just didn't like the expectations.
No. No. I
Well,
mean,
maybe you liked it. Maybe you were one of the ones that like it then.
I didn't love it, but you definitely had a harder time with it than I did. And
I only
and I
got
did it
in.
for 11
I
years.
did it for
So,
1 year, and I like went psychotic. Like
yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say went psychotic, but like I had to break. I mean, that's when I started photography and came out as gay and was like, ah!
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
But you did it for 11 years, so you obviously found your stride with that.
I mean, I guess I found my stride. It was hard. It was hard at first. And then yeah, I did. I found something within it. And like, and I had multiple children. You had one. I had multiple. So like managing a house and managing children, like it is a full-time job, and it takes
You have to actually be a manager of it. Like there were
yeah,
plenty of things to think about
there
and
were
worry
so
about.
many things to think
Oh,
about and worry
me, it was
about
like
that.
nap time. What do I do? This is boring. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, what I was, I guess, getting at is there's benefits to both. Like
Mhm.
having the roles in society, like I'm just trying to see the devil's advocate of it. Because obviously we're like, yeah, roles are stupid. Like that's horrible. Like that sucks. That's bad. But the other end of being truly authentic is a lot of work figuring out and communication and like, oh, I don't like this. Like, how do we make this more efficient? How do we make this work more? And the beauty of that is that it's a tough road, but when you find it, it's like very aligning.
Mhm.
Not that we're fully aligned yet, but I feel like we've made a lot of progress over the years of finding our roles, especially balance. I mean, we balance a business and a household
Mhm.
together. So that's also part of the challenge.
Well, at least we don't have children 24/7,
That's true.
so that makes things easier.
Yeah, no, that is true. To clarify, so Scotty has 3 kids that are older, and Aria, my daughter, is 10 and a half, and
Mhm.
she lives with us half time. So
Yeah.
but anyway, the role thing, it's just interesting, and I think that as a gay couple, not just lesbian, but as a gay couple, it's like you have to refine that, like because society or religion or whatever script our parents gave us or whatever, like it's out the window.
Mhm. I wonder if gay men go through this too, in terms of like, um, the expectation of the man, and the man it doesn't. Well, I mean, if they grew up religious, I guess it would be like the man doesn't do any household chores or whatever, and it's just, or like, or it's just like uh taking out the trash, like what a gay men also have to go through, because they would have to go through a whole different kind of deconstruction in that regard.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably similar but different, but also I think statistically gay men make more money than gay women and
Yes,
might have professions where they both have lucrative careers and they probably have outside help more.
that's possible.
I don't know, that's my guess, but
I mean,
if
they
you're a
would
gay guy, chime in. We'd love to hear from you.
well, I mean, but even then, there's still like the daily things, like dishes and laundry, and
Right.
all
Yeah,
those
that's true.
like very daily things.
Yeah. Yeah, and how do you figure out who is the one that would do more of the laundry, or is it literally back and forth?
Right. Or like, who's going to the store? Did they go to the store together? Like
Yeah.
all those things, like the managerial home things, like who is doing that work?
Right. I think it just depends on profession,
Well, sure.
of like who has the flexibility. to be able to do that.
Sure.
But yeah, that's an interesting one. So I think there's a lot of unpacking with that. But I remember that being one of the first things my therapist told me when I was in the process of trying to figure out if I was gay again. Like if I was trying so hard to figure it out, it should have been pretty obvious. But at the time it wasn't. It was very challenging. And one of the questions he asked me was, well, what do you envision life being like as a gay woman? Like, what do you want? Like, what? Like he was trying to get me
That's
to.
interesting.
Yeah, he was an intern, and he actually was really amazing, and he, I don't know, asked some questions that just got me to like think about like the future and make it less scary, I think is what he was trying to do.
Huh.
But I remember my answer just being like, I just want it to be fair. I want it to be like equal, like an equal, like we help each other thing. So I think, I don't know, that I was just craving, I don't know, obviously not just craving, but I was craving that sort of just equal dynamic. So, and basically found it. I mean,
Well, that's good.
yeah. I mean, we have, just a lot of hard conversations of how do we make sure that it is equal. So, what else?
I don't think there's anything else.
That's all I got. So, so I think this will just be a shorter episode today, but I think that like talking about roles in a gay relationship is something that I wanted to brush on because, of course, I'm sure most people watching are in hetero relationships. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Maybe we'll just have a big old gay following, but that would be awesome. But so I think that it's just something interesting to kind of dive into a little bit, and just one of the many side effects of being raised religious and coming out as gay is figuring out, those roles and dynamics. So, before we go, I want to talk about mountain biking.
Why?
Because this is what I do. I'm like, oh, squirrel. Hold on, one more thing. Just the fact that I have an e-bike and you don't, and we're in this like transitional state of like, I didn't realize that it would be that uneven mountain biking.
Speaking of fair and even things, apparently we need to be even and fair in mountain biking too.
Mountain biking too. Well, because I'm like, I can't go as fast as I want. And you're like, why are you going so fast? So
I don't say that. I know why you're going so fast.
I know, but you're like, this isn't fun anymore.
It's not fun to ride with you anymore.
Well, same. So I'm like, let's go for another mountain bike ride. And you're like, my lungs still burn. So
no, my lungs don't burn.
Your seat bones.
My seat bones hurt.
Yeah, mine kind of do too, but it's all right.
It would be more fun though if it was an e-bike and just be like, I would go through that seat bone pain for.
I know, for like fun riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only a couple years ago we were hating on e-bikes. We're like, oh my gosh, they're cheating. And now we're like, okay, either we're just old now or
I'm definitely not as young as I used to, and I can't ride as hard as I used to.
Yeah. Well, it's also we're busier. Again, like, in the beginning, like on a random Wednesday, I'd be like, let's go for a mountain bike ride.
I
like,
remember.
Yeah, that was lovely. And now we're like,
we have to schedule it.
Yeah, we have to schedule it. Like, if we want to go on a weekday, it's like, this is planned a week in advance.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just that we're just straight up not as in shape as we used to be. That's all right. There's only so much time.
I know.
So, but you on the mountain biking team, being a coach and all of that, you have to ride no matter what. So,
yeah,
just gotta go buy you an e-bike. Go spend all the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see what we do for the rest of the day. But all right, on that note, we are going to close. Until next time, we'll see if it's just us two or a guest. But I am curious if you'd like to chime in, if you'd like to see more of just us two or split back and forth. Let us know. So, all right. Have a wonderful rest of your guys' day.